Hello, I am quite ill as of recording this video and as such have decided to use an AI voice. Hopefully this is not too distracting, but I needed to get this video out quickly. Rainbow Six Siege-ranked servers have been plagued by a lobby crashing exploit for the past few days. In this video, we are going to discuss what I've learned about the exploit, how you can attempt to counteract the exploit, and peek into an algorithm I wrote to detect some exploiters, as well as how Ubisoft can resolve the issues that have arisen. This video is the result of a few days of exclusively working on my algorithm and scouring for data from players who have been affected by exploit lobbies. If you enjoy this video or want to see more Siege content in the future from a data or computer science perspective, please like the video or subscribe. The lobby crash requires a minimum of 3 players to perform a set of given actions, and then for all but one to back out of the game, while one guy stays in the game. When the others join back, this single player will leave and this will trigger a crash for the other team, shutting the server and resulting in a surrender victory for the exploiters and an abandoned sanction for the losers. Quick note on some things to consider before I discuss my algorithm more. A. I do not work for Ubisoft, nor do I own any data that pertains to Rainbow Six Siege, and as such, I do not have access to the full range of data for the exploit period, hence my chosen time period. Ubisoft will of course be able to see all game data, and given how much I found with so little data, I believe this is an exploit in which punishments can fully be enforced. So please proceed knowing that all presented numbers are minimums for the time period. B. Whilst there is no guarantee that all exploiters were caught in my algorithm during the time period, it is a guarantee that everyone caught was in a team that exploited. As I am not a first party here, I wanted to make sure my code returned no false positives. I was able to write and run a custom search algorithm to catch exploiters. The data in this video was taken from 5:30 p.m. on the 13th of May until 2:30 p.m. on the 14th of May. Over this time, I found a total of 8,137 unique exploiters, and a further 200 that I will need to manually check but also seem to align with the previous data checks. Of the 8,137 players caught, at least 1/3 are repeat offenders, with at least 300 players performing the exploit at minimum more than 10 times within a day. With the most prolific offender in my list being one user performing the exploit 39 times in the span of my search. For context, assuming an average RP gain for a player who has played 200 games this season, that is enough to suddenly take you from platinum to high diamond. Here is a chart of the top 16 abusers during the less than a day period where this data was collected. I will continue to monitor matches that are sent to me. I have a lot more information now than I did at the time of writing the script for this video, and I know some Siege trackers are working on their own list of exploiters. So know that if Ubisoft does nothing, there will be information somewhere. Here is a small update on the information I have now, not the data previously mentioned within the time period. Thanks to match information provided to me by people who have reached out after being on the tail end of exploit lobbies, I have managed to reach the following data for this analysis. After around 100,000 ranked lobbies were checked, a minimum of 35,000 instances of a given player exploiting were found, which is equal to a minimum of 7,000 lobbies where a crash took place, and over 3,000 unique players who have exploited at least 3 times. As previously mentioned, all of these quantities are minimums for the given period in an effort to avoid false positives, but give some sort of insight into the vast number of players partaking in this issue. What can Ubisoft do about it? It is important to note that what Ubisoft can do about it and what they will do about it are in most instances very different. People seem to think the hotfix yesterday was to patch this exploit. It was not. It was to fix an issue where players crash logging in if they hadn't played in a long time. So why didn't Ubisoft just turn ranked off for the time being? At any given time, ranked lobbies on Siege account for half of all active public lobbies. Turning off ranked lobbies, especially given how long this investigation is taking, is just not a feasible approach to appease the player base, especially given that lobbies are still playing normally if you don't meet an exploiter. Aside from exploited lobbies occurring in high numbers ruining the ranked experience, especially for high RP players, as of rank 2.0 ranks are easier to hit the next season if you have been there before. So these players will be getting higher rewards in the future for using such exploits now. In my eyes, some form of rollback has to occur, even if just for these users. It would cause a huge problem for exploiters to maintain their accounts or rank. The hidden MMR system in Siege adjusts skill based on performance, and the sudden influx of wins in a row from these exploiting players may skew their hidden skill. This could mean way more players who don't belong, ending up in higher rank lobbies, ruining the experience for everyone else. In addition, the client crashing means the player receives an abandon sanction. Firstly, this ruins the ranked experience for players, as they were getting banned for days. Ubisoft did fix this by reducing all abandon sanctions to 5 minutes recently. However, there is another problem. Abandon sanctions weigh heavily on the reputation system currently in beta, and players with disruptive and below reputation will not receive ranked rewards. As of right now, if nothing is fixed, exploiters rank up and get higher rewards than ever for no work, and probably get a kick out of doing it, whilst regular players drop ranks, lose their end-of-season rewards, and have to constantly try to counteract crashed lobbies, ruining their enjoyment. So what actually can Ubisoft do? As of creating this video, Ubisoft has tweeted that a hotfix should drop tomorrow, though no comments have been made about the repercussions of those who abused it. They also labeled the issue as Shield exploit. And not only was it found a few days ago you could TK to get around using shields, it has further been discovered that you can do it without either TK or shields, which makes me question how well they can patch an issue they have shown they don't really understand. In terms of what they can do after it's fixed, though, Ubisoft saved the outcomes of every match that has happened at least for a given season, and that from my data we are able to see when a team abuses such an exploit, it should be both possible to ban users and refund RP loss, but who knows what action Ubisoft will actually take here. When it comes to banning players, I imagine Ubisoft will be worried about solo queue players getting dragged along by a 3-stack abusing the glitch, and will be hesitant to take further action. However, in this case, there are certain users who have abused the glitch so much it is obvious, and some sort of low base cap should be a good solution for such an issue. On the topic of getting RP back, it can be problematic to return exact amounts, especially as I'm not sure if they are tracking RP in such a way that rollback is easy for console, though it is definitely possible to just revert any win or loss that has occurred from a crashed lobby. In my opinion, the best course of action would be to re-roll MMR in affected matches, as from my knowledge of the data, the match ID of crashed lobbies can be found. Players who have exploited a low number of times should receive some sort of probation, and possibly lose ranked rewards, and serial abusers should be banned for something akin to DDoS breaching. What you can do: 1. Do not solo queue. 2. In your pair or more, designate one person to stay and the rest to be leavers. 3. When you notice the players on the other team leave, everyone quickly leave except the single person designated to stay. Note, their game will crash. 4.1. In the event that the opponents rejoin in order to crash the lobby the same round, simply get everyone to rejoin, and the next round your team will have to win a 4v5, as the stayer will be reloading the game. As a positive, though, the act of trying to crash the lobby will have given your team +1 score. And if they try the exploit again, follow the same system, assigning a new stayer, and you will rack points towards the match victory. 4.2. In the event that the exploiters are a bit smarter, though only a little, they may notice the players that have left gone the whole time, and will wait for them to rejoin to crash the lobby. In this case, the best course of action is to get the game into a state where the crash will award the last point your team needs to win, and to join back as the game is about to end so you do not get punished. Thanks for watching. Hopefully the information provided has been of interest to you. I will send this data over to people who can handle bans and to tracking sites, and I will see you all next time I post Siege content. Goodbye.